Now live on 10 Tampa Bay, rivers rising, communities now under a flood warning after Hurricane-Milton. Team coverage of the impact. 1-2 punch. Anna Maria Island devastated by Helene and Milton. We're live with the effort to rebuild. Plus, gas shortage. Evacuees stranded on their way home to survey the damage. Tonight, the mad dash to the pump.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
An historic hit. The Tampa Bay area spared from a direct hit in more than a century, now reeling in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. The devastation stretching the coast. Homes flooded, some flattened. Trees and traffic lights toppled. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Dave Wagner.
And I'm Courtney Robinson. Hurricane Milton is responsible for 16 deaths in Florida tonight, 6 of them in the Tampa Bay area. We have live team coverage for you tonight, from devastating damage to our coastline to river flooding happening right now in multiple counties and gas stations limited on fuel. One of the major concerns right now is water inundating communities as rivers rise tonight. Already, Hillsborough County deputies have made a number of rescues. That started this morning. 10 Tampa Bay's Angelina Salcido is along the Alafia River right now. And Angie, the river is above major flood stage, and crews had to release more water from the Medard Reservoir.
And Courtney, that's because they're expecting for this river to get up to close to 25 feet. And that is incredible. That is something that this area has not seen before. Now, my live shot might get a little bit loud here just because people that live back there are starting to come to and from taking things out of their homes. But you can just see how much water this neighborhood is inundated with. It has been incredible to see. We were actually back there with deputies taking a look at the homes. There are cars that are submerged underwater, homes halfway full with water, and I'm told that if people are standing in some low-lying areas, the water can be anywhere from 5 to 6 feet. That is incredible. For most people, that would be something that could potentially be something deadly. And so the video that you guys are taking a look at right now is of the levels of the water here along the Alafia River. For some perspective as well, keep in mind that the river is about a mile from this neighborhood. That just shows you how much water this neighborhood has taken on. We ran into some twin brothers who were kind of surveying the area, checking on their neighbors as well. They actually left so they could avoid something like this.
That last one, we just sticked it out at the house, and then this last one, we went to Orlando. Just sucks. I mean, just drew the short end of the straw.
And the reason why he's saying that they drew the short end of the stick is just because they have seen water in this area before, but they've never seen it get this high. It's about 4 to 5 feet of water more than what anyone in this area has expected. And like you're seeing this family go down right now on their boat. Many of these families that live back here actually have boats, so they've been able to get in and out. It's those people that don't have the boats or may have a reason impeding them to try and evacuate themselves that had the issue earlier on this morning. Sheriff Chad Chronister telling me that they actually ended up doing 200 rescues in this area. The reason why deputies are still here and will be here throughout the night is because there are still people in the back in these neighborhoods and in these homes that feel comfortable being there right now, but they may not feel comfortable a little bit later on, or they may, as the sheriff put it, kind of laughed about it a little bit, but they may just be tired of being wet because there is just so much water that's back there. So we're going to be out here continuing to monitor the situation out here. But for now, live in Lithia, Angelina Salcido, 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, Angie, thank you. Tonight we're seeing a similar scene in neighborhoods in Pasco County.
And if you live in low-lying areas, officials are urging some of you to evacuate again. 10 Tampa Bay's Hannah Deneen is in Elfers tonight. Hannah, neighbors there are concerned about what's to come.
Well, Dave, here in Elfers, we're on State Road 54, which is closed off tonight because of flooding way down the road here. That is where the first responders are staged over at the Bells in the Pasco Square Plaza. And that is where they are because there has been hundreds of high water rescues over the past couple days in Pasco County, roughly 200 according to Pasco County officials. But I want to take you down here. We're in Celtic Drive here in Pasco County. This is a taste of what they've been seeing across these neighborhoods. this high water blocking roadways here. But there's some good news for people who are along the Anclote River. This is one of the few rivers that peaked early, and you can actually see since we've been here, there is a water line now showing that the Anclote River is finally starting to recede just a bit. This is what the Anclote River looked like and the neighborhoods looked like that were blocked off. This is one woman who was in Newport Richey, sent me these videos showing what her neighborhood looked like all day today. They stayed put, as many people did, in those neighborhoods, even though they are impassable by cars. They felt safe in their homes there. Countless people, again, have been staying in their homes just like that. This is historic flooding in Pasco County. The Anclote River here, again, peaking at more than 26 feet, according to NOAA. But there are still other rivers that are expected to peak over the weekend, even early next week. Right now in Zephyr Hills, the Hillsborough River is at a major flood stage. We're hearing about high water rescue still happening in that part of Pasco County. And the Withlacoochee is expected to peak early next week. So folks across Pasco, Hernando, Citrus County that are in the low-lying areas near the Withlacoochee River, they are asked to get to higher ground right now because that water is still rising and still rising quickly. Officials tonight, they say, expect if you're driving around any of those counties to see a lot of roads just like this that are still closed off to traffic because of flooding. And a reminder again to never drive in that high water. Live in Elfers, Hannah Deneen, 10 Tampa Bay.
Tough scene there, and several counties are reopening sandbag sites amid river flooding. The county's opening sites include Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties. Depending on where you go, you may need to take your own shovel. You can find exact locations and hours of operation posted right now on our free 10 Tampa Bay app. Well, tonight crews are working hard to get your lights back on.
More than 2.2 million customers are without power across the state. It could take days, potentially weeks in some neighborhoods. You're seeing video of all of the linemen right there. This is from Florida Power and Light. Tonight, Duke Energy did say that they have a timeline for restoring power to several counties. Citrus, Hernando, Highlands, and Polk can expect restoration by midnight Sunday. Tuesday at midnight for Pasco and Pinellas counties. Airports across our area are beginning to reopen after being damaged by Hurricane Milton. This is video right here from Tampa International Airport, back open today. Right now, more than 100 flights canceled, roughly 70 are delayed. And I want to give you a look at some damage to Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. You can see that mangled metal right there on the tarmac. We saw the roof come off of Concourse B. The airport will now reopen Wednesday morning at 9. St. Pete Clearwater International Airport will resume flight operations tomorrow. Rental companies are already reopened.
Well, tonight calls for accountability. In the last few hours, Governor Ron DeSantis questioned why a crane was not taken down in St. Pete before Milton's arrival. This is that crane he's talking about, sprawled across First Avenue South at 4th Street in downtown St. Pete. The crash caused significant damage to the Tampa Bay Times building when it fell after Milton's landfall on Wednesday. Now, 2 days later, First Avenue South and 3rd Street to 5th Street are blocked off. Leaders in St. Pete tell us they had site surveys last Friday and had conversations with the development company, but the city says the company told them it would take 7 days to dismantle the crane.
You need construction workers to have a plan, and you've got to have those contingencies. I mean, it's not like this snuck out from anywhere. I mean, we had strong 7 to 10 days notice that things were heading in this direction. If you go back and look at the previous 7 days prior to landfall, it was constantly being called for, the greater Tampa Bay region.
The Florida Director of Emergency Management says local leaders should be telling companies all permitted work needs to be secured. The residences at 400 Central say they're flying in engineers to assess the crane. Now, in a statement, the condo company said they're grateful no one was injured in the area and that the only damage was to bricks and not people. They say they will continue work on the building as soon as possible.